Hello everybody. For those who find my video without going through my website, let me introduce myself. My name is Gilles Urtubise, and my name as self-taught and multidisciplinary scientist and inventor name is Gilles Lauzon Urtubise, and I am the owner and the founder of the first human multi-intelligence.com site. So the title of this video today is 27 identical characteristics between a pulsar at the beginning of its life and a black celestial sphere, which is the object that all the other scientists call black hole. But of course black hole it's not a good expression for that kind of object, because black hole is only a part of this object, and the real name of this object is black celestial sphere. And some of them are supermassive, and well, their size vary between small and giant. Okay, so here, this is you see, this is these objects here. It could be a magnetar or a black celestial sphere, but here this is only a black celestial sphere, supermassive. And of course a magnetar is a supermassive object, but here it could be black celestial sphere too. So the 27 identical characteristics between a pulsar and so magnetar. Here magnetar is a pulsar with a giant volume. So, but it's still a pulsar. So I'm okay with this to call them magnetar. But of course, his speed, he have the same characteristic than a pulsar millisecond when he's born. So then, and a lot of things for a pulsar and magnetars born, like celestial sphere, it is an average internal temperature, which is the highest with that of a millisecond pulsar, which varies in size between dwarf and giant, like a magnetar. So then second, an average internal pressure, which is the highest in early life with that of the millisecond pulsar, which varies between dwarf and giants, like a magnetar. And internal and surface rotation speed, which is, well, at the surface it is at 716 rotation per second or more. So, and this is the same speed for the pulsar millisecond when he's born. Then, and so the fourth one is an average surface gravity, which is strongest with that of the millisecond pulsar. So, and whatever the size they have. Number 4, an average of certain internal gravitational forces, which are the strongest with those of a millisecond pulsar. This is number 5. So number 6 is certain internal gravitational forces, which are unique and most powerful, which those of a pulsar, of all millisecond pulsar. Number 7, external average gravitational forces, which are the most powerful and which have no defensive against another black sphere. So, but I don't know about between a black sphere and a pulsar millisecond. I don't know if these characters apply. So maybe yes, maybe not. So, but because it could be possible, I put it on the 27 characteristic. Then number 8, an average centrifugal force, which is the highest with that of a millisecond pulsar when he's born. And maybe the first is about for his first 1 million or 2 million years at the beginning of his life. Number 9, external gravitational forces which exert gravitational control over all other objects of lower gravitational power, which are the most powerful, which that of a millisecond pulsar, which varies in size between dwarf and giants, like a magnetar, at the beginning of life, according to a relatively short period of time after their birth, and which remain to be established with accuracy, and with the ones they have a gravitational marriage. So those. Okay, so yeah, so I explain it more about this one later. Then number 10, an unique internal insertion attractive force to the level of their circular zone of emergency exit to don't burst on surface. So, but for the biggest one, like magnetar or black celestial sphere supermassive, and that kind of magnetar is supermassive too. And on this image, it could be a black celestial sphere or a magnetar. Could be both of them, and which those are supermassive. But here, of course, it's only to the middle of all galaxy. They have only always black celestial sphere supermassive, but never magnetar. Only black celestial sphere and super, which is all the time supermassive. Then number 11, the level of its and external expulsion repulsive forces to the level of its circular zone of emergency exit. So yes, for the magnetar or the for the magnetar or the black celestial sphere, on one side of their rotation axis, they have the circular zone of engulfment, and at the other ends they have a circular zone of expulsion, which is the emergency exit. In the way, then, because of this, they cannot explode in supernova or hypernova, and even in nova, because they are too big, too strong. Then, so that's the way they react. They reject to the both exit the extra matter they absorb. So. Number 12, an average gravitational repulsive gravitational repulsive force, which is the strongest with that of a millisecond pulsar at the beginning of its life. Number 13, an average magnetic field, which is the strongest with that of a millisecond pulsar at beginning of its life. So, to the income and to an incoming magnetic line, which are the strongest, which those of a millisecond pulsar. So you see, like, yeah, this picture is not good enough to show you. Sorry. Then, yes, so number 15, outgoing magnetic line, which are the most powerful, which those of a millisecond pulsar, which is the one they goes with the circular zone for their emergency exit. Then, number 16, a spherical gravitational wall that is unique to the black and to the which, well, for the pulsar millisecond, it's impossible to see it, but it still exists then at the beginning of its life. So then and this is why they can doing this here. They can doing this here because, yeah, sorry. So that's why they can doing this, because they have a wall. So except for their circular zone of engulfment and the other zone at the opposite, which is for the emergency, the circular zone for emergency exit. So like you can see, I'm not perfect bilingual, but I do the best as I can then. Number 17, a first circular zone is that of the circular zone of engulfment at the level of its negative magnetic pole of each black sphere, and exactly the same for the pulsar millisecond at the beginning of its life. Then these circular zones, I guess it's working because of the incoming magnetic line, which are between the birth until their death for the black sphere, and for the pulsar millisecond at the beginning of its life, which are the strongest of all gravitational objects in the universe. And because of because the attractive forces of internal insertion, which is between their birth until their death for the black celestial sphere, but also for pulsar millisecond at the beginning of his life, then which are the most powerful of all gravitational objects in the universe. And or because of the two combined elements of those. So incoming magnetic line plus attractive forces of internal insertion. Then number 18, a second circular array is that of the emergency exit circular array at its positive magnetic pole of each black celestial sphere, and for the pulsar at millisecond, for the millisecond pulsar at the beginning of their life. Then, so and at the beginning of their life, it's probably for their first or two first million years. But after this, this characteristic disappear because the power of the pulsar, the millisecond pulsar, going lower with the time, until they going to the last statue of their life, which is a black star. For all pulsar millisecond, whatever is if their size are dwarf or giant, but they all finish their life in the statue of a black star. So yeah, so these second circular array for their emergency exit, maybe it's working because of the outgoing magnetic line, which are the strongest one, and because of the attractive forces of external longilinear expulsion, okay, or maybe both of them. So both of them combined. But I suppose then they are both of them combined. So it's for me, which is make more sense then. Number 19, a first circular rim of their spherical gravitational wall, which is located at its negative magnetic pole and which is unique. Number 20, an exceptional and unique ability for the black celestial sphere not to allow any lights and any energy to escape from its circular engulfment zone. Okay, so, and because of the interaction of the attractive forces of internal insertion, or maybe the interaction of its considerably strong incoming magnetic line. But for me, I think it's because both of them. Number 21, the speed of absorption, which is the most powerful without apparent restraint at the level of its circular zone of engulfment. But for the biggest one, it doesn't matter because they are too strong, too big, so they cannot explode, burst on surface and after explode. This is impossible. The only way then the big black sphere or they could explode, it's only by a burst on surface when two of them they goes into the other, and which their side are in different ways. So that's why they produce at that moment explosion in supernova or hypernova. Then, so and number 22, the internal storage velocity, which is relatively high for the black celestial sphere between their birth until their death. And yeah, so like just I explained before, whatever is the speed, they cannot explode because they're too strong and too big. Then. Number 23, the second circular rim of the spherical gravitational wall, which is located at its positive magnetic pole and which is unique. Yes, so, and for the case of the pulsar millisecond, at the beginning of its life is 4 or 2 first million years of life. This is something as we cannot see, but it's still there. But after short period of time, about 1 or 2 million years, this wall disappeared. Because the pulsar millisecond lost this characteristic, and because they're going lower in force and everything, and in speed too, but it's pretty slow in the time. Number 24, the circular emergency exit zone at its positive and magnetic pole, which is the same as of a millisecond pulsar, but like I just said before, this circular emergency exit should disappear for the pulsar millisecond after 1 or 2 million years after their birth. Then 25, the circular array of emergency, no, I just told you. Number 5, the external expulsion velocity at its circular array of its emergency exit is the same as that of the pulsar millisecond, but it still disappears after 1 or 2 million of the beginning of their life for the pulsar millisecond. Then, but for the small black celestial sphere, like our black celestial sphere, which bursts in surface because it's absorbed too much matter and too fast. So that's why our small celestial sphere burst on surface and explode in relatively small nova to permit then our solar system to born, because after its explosion is burst on surface and explosion in nova, all the debris of the 93 container float container of helium until to plutonium, all of those matters serve to produce all of the debris of this matter used to form the 4 planets, which is Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, and part of the asteroid of the main belt. Then, so that's what it is. So, and 27, an external and unique physical capacity thanks to its internal pressure between their depth and their mode, which is the most, and which serve to force each of atoms of the 94 possible species of natural chemical elementary to occupy their floating container because of their difference in volume. Okay, so yes, yeah, so that's it. So yeah, so thank you for this video, and see you to the next video, which I explain to you some other things about the black sphere and the pulsar millisecond at the beginning of their life. Okay, thank you, goodbye. Have a good day and see you later.